So our special guest is one of two today, is in the studio with us, and one of the great boxers that Britain has produced in the last 20 years. He's got a new book out, the autobiography is called Amir Khan, Fight for Your Life, and Amir Khan is here with us. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Hey, welcome.
First thing and foremost to say about this is that it's not a normal sports biography, autobiography, in that, you know, you might go to it expecting, and then I fought him, and then I fought him, and then I fought Terence Crawford, and then I came back, and I beat him, and Kell Brook, and all the rest of it. It's much more than that. It's very personal. Yeah. It's very, very open and honest. Some of it's pretty raw. Why did you decide to write this kind of book, Amir?
I just want people to know who Amir Khan is in the real way. I mean, you know, this book tells you about my family life, my personal life, my boxing, who everyone's interested in. But I thought they've seen so much of that and they want to know a little bit more. Obviously, I've got a TV show, reality TV show I do as well. So, and obviously the wife, she's got a big following as well. So I thought, why not this time give it all, show everyone, tell everyone everything about Amir Khan and the family.
And given that, and we'll come on to some of the extraordinary details that you put into it, about things that have happened to you. I mean, oddly enough, it seems to me that more crazy things have happened to you outside the ring than boxing is already a really strange way to make your living, isn't it?
Yes.
But things happen to you as well. Did you have any misgivings about making any of this public?
No, I wanted to obviously tell the story, everything about my whole career, because there was nothing to hide. Everything I wanted to talk to the people about is all true, and the way. When I was doing the interviews with John Woodhouse, who wrote the book with me, you know, he was saying, "Are you sure you want to put that in?" I go, "Yeah, I want to put everything in." And he was quite surprised because he said, "Look, how?" I go, "Look, it's my autobiography, and I want everything in there that everyone knows me for, and they know me as a champion, and then it gives me a chance to, like for example, when I was tested positive, it gave me a chance to speak about it and give my views on it. So it's my story on how I see things and how things really went and they really were."
Yeah, we were discussing earlier on, you never dodged anyone in the ring. You know, a lot of fights at the moment, they don't seem to want to fight each other, but you never really dodged anyone in the ring, and it sounds like you've not dodged the subject in the book.
That's right. I think in my boxing career, I was too brave for my own good. I fought everyone, going up and down different weight divisions.
But that's why so many people loved you, Amir. I mean, I was just saying, you know, you can say what you like about Amir Khan as a boxer. You can say he all the things that were said about you, both good and bad. But he never avoided. In fact, you sought out the best boxers for 15 years.
For 15 years, fought the best. I mean, you know, had a long 27-year boxing career, going to Olympics, amateurs and everything, winning world championships and all sorts. You know, obviously may not have the best chin in the game, but obviously that's what made it exciting. And I'm not shy to talk about it now. You know, I mean, I was put down several times in boxing, but you know what? It only made me stronger, made me work even harder. It made my fights even exciting, a lot more exciting, and people were on the edges of their seats thinking that, you know what, this is going to be an amazing battle. But the thing is, Amir could get caught and could go down, you know what I mean? So look, this is what made me exciting, and I don't regret it.
And why would you? No.
Exactly. I mean, I'm waiting for the next one. I'm waiting for another fighter like me who can fight at the highest level of the sport all around the world and can keep it exciting as well.
Before we get into the details that's in the book, it struck me what you were saying there. In the book, you say how you were a kid full of energy, some positive, some negative, but just an explosive firework of a child. And your dad, bless him, worked out this, you know, because people of a Pakistani heritage like yourself, at that backstage, you maybe cricket, maybe, but doctors, lawyers, these are cliches. I know they're cliches, 100%. but it's what they would have been expecting you to do. So, and he saw boxing in there. But I mean, the question I want to ask you is, you've had such an extraordinary life up to now, and you're probably not halfway through it. What are you going to do with all this energy as you go forward?
You know, it's like I've done so much in my life, and I am quite tired now. It's like I've done everything I needed to do, and I'm only 36 years old. And you know, when I've done TV shows and I've traveled the world, and now I've got my own kids. I think now for me is getting closer to God, and also see my kids grow, and hopefully being like my father was with me. My father supported me throughout boxing. He used to take me to the gym. And without him supporting me the way he did, I don't think I'll be in this position. So maybe this is now he's my role model, where I have to be that role model to my son. I have to take him to places, be there for him, and support him, and not only to my son but to my girls as well. Look, and like you mentioned about the Pakistani other families that normally want their kids to be businessmen or in jobs, you know, jobs.
Yeah, it's a generalisation, but you can see where it comes from.
Yeah, but you know, with my dad, I was very surprised that he let me do that because I had so much energy, and he knew that he has to burn that energy somewhere. So what he did was he took me to the boxing club, just burn that energy. But I ended up loving it so much. I ended up staying there and using it as a tool of being disciplined and doing it as a job as well.
And you've enjoyed the life it's given you. We see Conor Benn, we see Chris Eubank Jr. You know, would you recommend your kids go into boxing?
You know, it's funny because the other day I was holding my son and I was saying to the wife, I go, you know, he's a lot stronger and thicker than me.
You're not feeling his biceps.
I am already, and he's only a baby, but you know, I'm just working him out thinking.
You did have a bad jaw, and he did give you a left hook. You know, you did go down.
I did go down.
We don't know about your jaw.
But the thing is, you know, is just his structure of his body, thick and strong and hard. Like, he's a lot thicker than me, bigger than me. So if he is going to be a fighter, he'll probably be a lot heavier than me. But yeah, I mean, look, I let him maybe train, and if he wants to do it genetically, I'm sure it's in his genes. He'll maybe want to try it out, and if he's good, I will have to support him. But I'd rather him not go into boxing because I know how much of a brutal sport it is.
It's murder, isn't it? I mean, sorry, that's a really bad word to choose. It's a really brutal way to make a living, you know.
And
I mean, you've been at it, as you say, most of your life. You've come out of it. You look very healthy. You're not mashed up or anything.
Nah.
But you're lucky because you were
I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky where I came out financially securing myself and still being able to speak well and not slurring, because that can happen in boxing with the punches you're taking day and day.
You can see it.
And got myself into other things, for example, like television and stuff like that. So boxing's been good for me, and I've been very smart when to walk away from it. Look, in the last fight against Kell Brook, it wasn't my best performance, but still, I'm not blaming that something was wrong. I just don't have it in me. I didn't have it in me in that fight.
There's a picture of the fight in the in the book, and it says, you say, I had only one thought as I walked into the auditorium before the Kell Brook fight: I don't want to be here. And it says it in capital letters. What do you mean by that?
So I remember looking at the clock before leaving the changing rooms. Training camp had gone really well. I felt so good, so sharp. The week of the fight, it's like I hit a wall. Honestly, it's like I hit a wall, all the hype and stuff. And I remember in the changing rooms, I was warming up, and you know when you just feel like, it's like I'm forcing myself to throw punches, forcing myself to get into that rhythm. I didn't really get into rhythm, but the last thing I did do, walking out of that changing room, is look at the clock, and I remember it's about 10, 11 o'clock. At about 11 o'clock, I think it was. But within 2 hours, I'll be in my hotel in bed. Now, to think like that,
that's no good, is it?
It's not good because I have never ever thought like this in my life before, and that. Now, thinking about it now, what I was thinking of then makes me realise that I knew it was over then. Like, I need to... you should not be in a sport if you think
You can sit in an office watching the clock. You can't do it in a boxing ring.
No,
There's too much danger in there.
Too much danger, and you're putting your life on the line. But you know, the thing was, with that fight, no matter what, however I felt, I would have done it because I did it for the British public. They wanted to see that fight, and I did it for them. Honestly, even though when I was in training camp, at times I was feeling like I don't have it in me no more. Maybe because it was so hard and having such a long time out of the ring and coming back in. Body was hurting, I was in pain. But I thought, if I don't take this fight against Brook, then what's going to happen is the whole nation's going to hate me for it. All boxing fans, because it's a fight that they've wanted to see for a very long time. Even though it might have been after my peak. But
I wish more boxers thought like that. Thought, I've got to fight this guy to...
Because of the public, and look, the public have been good with us. What I take is they've given us the biggest paydays.
It was a bit of a shame then for you that it didn't come 3 or 4 years earlier, perhaps.
Yeah.
Because, look, when I read that bit of the book, I felt a bit sympathy for you, because doing something like boxing and not wanting to really be there is very tricky. And of course, I also felt a great sense of relief because you've come through it. All right, you lost the fight, but people lose fights. That's the way of it.
It's life. You win some, you lose some, and I just and when I didn't feel the way I felt, and it's like the love of it, when I honestly made that decision in that changing room that I'm never gonna put on the gloves again, and that's me.